All right, let me just make sure my microphone is right. And alrighty. Welcome to a brand new podcast from the life safety community. And I've wanted to do this for probably about a year now, and it's finally happening. So let me just tell you all about this brand new podcast. Now, this is the first episode, which is the pilot episode. So we're gonna see how this goes, and well, basically the problems, any problems with this podcast, this episode will be resolved by the next one, and we will also I will know how this. I mean, I already will basically know a lot more, and we'll have basically the next episode being a lot more better. It'll basically get better. So basically and not just about fire alarms, they're just fire and life safety in general, like for life safety stuff. So, like for anything not really, even not related to fire safety, just general life safety in general. So pretty much anything fire alarms, the smoke alarms and stuff, and even like one of the radio security systems. Like this is not just for fire alarms, but in life safety, but also similar industries. So like security and all that stuff. So this is not just dedicated to fire and life safety too, and also the hosts, which I am the host, and the co-hosts, which will change for the episodes, but it'll be different. It might be different some episodes. I don't know how it's gonna work, but we'll have that figured out by the next episodes. And so each episode, again, this is gonna be available on other platforms. So yeah, and I've been wanting to do something like this for a year now. You guys might have remembered similar podcasts, but I'm not gonna mention too much. I don't want to mention any drama on this, so this is not gonna be dedicated drama. Now there will be there possibly will be we'll be talking about drama sometimes if there's drama news or in the community or like maybe we'll have a few episodes. I don't think I'll dedicate any episodes. I'm not sure if I want to do that, but we'll have some talk at least, but I want to keep it mainly on positive stuff. So yeah, and today we got Perry, or we got DX, RADIX D461 here.
Radix D461.
Yeah. So yeah, he's here. He's obviously the co-host for at least for this episode. There will not be any other people in these next in this episode, but there will be probably be other people in future episodes. But I want to just do this with Perry tonight, and yeah, and of course there's the obviously still the comment sections, the live chat, because most episodes, some episodes might be pre-recorded depending on how it goes, but we'll have most episodes be live streamed on YouTube first. They'll be available after, obviously, and they'll be available on other podcast platforms like YouTube. Well, it's gonna be on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, and like Google Podcasts, and basically anywhere you can get podcasts, you should be able to find this podcast there. So, does Perry have anything he wants to say? Or
Let's just get
yeah,
started.
I'm
Can
gonna
you hear me?
finish. Yeah, I'm gonna finish what I was talking about first, and then
Okay.
we'll. All right. So yeah, and uh, obviously there's gonna be well, we were basically talking about news, industry news, in the industry, like fire alarm industry and some of these other industries. We'll also be talking about, I guess, wildfire info, but also fire safety tips and life safety tips, and obviously weather. We'll also talk about weather too, and weather radios, and just anything relating to life safety and just other types of things. Like we'll even talk about. I mean, we're not gonna get too far off with this podcast, but I'm gonna try to go as much as I can. Just not much, but like go. Basically, it's not gonna be dedicated to just fire safety. It's gonna be the main focus of this. Don't get me wrong, but it's gonna have a huge focus on other types of things too that are going on in security and security weather radios. They're fighting like wildfire and fire prevention, just a lot of things in general. And yeah, so I hope not only people of the fire alarm community will be able to join this, but also other people in general. This series, and yeah, this is gonna be run. This is obviously gonna be the the first episode, obviously, because yeah, this is a pilot episode. But yeah, and that's basically it for the introduction to this. Again, it's gonna be available on other platforms too. You can follow the podcast there. You can also go to CaptainChris.me/podcast. And yeah, and pretty much that's basically it for the intro. And anyways, I wanted to just get right into this podcast, this first episode, which just talk. It's gonna be we're gonna talk about a little bit of the most recent news with the um
Hmm.
some recent news from the past few months of the life safety industry, and we'll do that. I think this episode might go for an hour or 30 minutes. This is just the first episode. I don't know how it's gonna work yet, but I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. But anyways, yeah, it's pretty much it with the intro, and I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode. So yeah, all right. So we already got Joe Clane and Alex Pisaki in the live chat.
It's Joaquin.
Well, Joaquin, however you pronounce it. Um, so anyways, so I don't expect too much live viewers. I'm gonna expect most of the viewers to be like post live viewers, like people who watch it after it. Anyway, so yeah, and so speaking of fire weather and weather, wildfires, whatever. Well, not this is not related to wildfires, but with my well about it's about heat and my I'm going to my a heat. If you watched my most recent video, it's like I got a heat excessive heat watch, and there's gonna be a lot of there's gonna be a lot of heat, and that means elevated fire conditions.
Yeah,
If
I'm sorry to interrupt. I live in Texas, and we've been having this week has been 108-degree weather all week. But of course, I don't know why everyone's complaining about climate change because it got up into the 120s last summer in Texas, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's so hot! It's hot!" Yeah, no, anything above 100 is obviously hot. But I don't know why we're complaining about 108-degree weather when last year got up into like the 117. I remember driving in our car and me pointing my digital like laser thermometer out on the just in the sky, not on the pavement or anything. The temperature read like 115 degrees, and it has not gotten to 115 degrees in Texas yet. So, but like Chris was saying, with that, a lot of wildfires have been happening almost
there
on Interstate I-35. It's been very, you could see all this burnt grass from people throwing cigarettes out their windows and stuff like that. So,
There was actually just like one about a month ago. There was actually a big, huge wildfire by my house. So
same
it,
here. I had to evacuate my house because there was a wildfire. Literally, you could see the flames out back of my house.
yeah,
It was cool.
and yeah, there's also been a lot of brush fire, and I'm surprised we haven't. But the biggest fire is not the fire, but me and Perry have our Redx D461
Just
has
call me
been
Perry. I don't give a frick.
yeah. So it's also been happening in Canada, and if you don't know, there's that big wildfire that's been going on since June, I think. That that apparently they kind of hard to they can't really get put out, so they just been going since it might not be as big, but at least when it started, it caused a huge bunch of smoke in New York City and surrounding cities and up in the Northeast. Um, yeah. One thing I want to do is I want to turn on music, but I don't know if I want to do it this episode, but I might do it future episodes. But I kind of want to keep this more talk and not just have music. But I might find some copyright-free music I can play on this, and yeah. So let's talk about some fire alarm industry news. And there's been a lot of news this year, and we can obviously start off with the LEDL series, which frankly, are kind of ugly. I'm gonna be honest. Um,
Real
so if you,
quick, if you don't mind, um, I'm gonna say something. It's probably super unnecessary. Opinions. Find it interesting how people's opinions change about alarms and stuff. I originally am from the lighting community, and we all hated LED. We all hated it. It was taking over all the vintage, rare street lighting, roadway lighting, all the lighting, etc. And now that I'm into fire alarms as well as lighting, but now that I'm in more passionate about fire alarms, it's interesting to see people start getting mad at LED strobes taking over the xenon flash tubes. Um, and I think it's interesting how coming from the lighting community, how it's just everybody hates LED. And I can understand why, like new modern stuff is replacing the old vintage cool stuff. But I think some point a new alarm's gonna come out and we're gonna be like, oh, I wish this alarm will not be replacing the LED strobe, you know.
yeah.
Anyways,
It's mostly evolution, but if I'm gonna be honest though, I think if you prefer the look of Xenons, I think they should have done is that they a lot of people agree on this. But I think people will become more comfortable with the look of LEDs in the future. But I think they could have just kept the Xenon this design with the reflector, but put like LEDs in place of the flash tube.
mhm,
Oh yeah. One thing I forgot to say is this is gonna be very focused on community. Um, Now, basically, I kind of want to focus this on the community. I don't want to focus it on my channel or my brand. If you guys watched the trailer, you might have noticed that that there was no there was not many too much focus on my own brand, my channel name. That's because I want to keep this focus on the community. I don't want it just to be with my brand. I want to be with the entire community in general. And this basically means that different members of the community can also come on here too. There'll be now Perry will be the main co-host, but we'll have more co-hosts in the future. So it won't just
mhm.
be Perry. Perry's gonna be the main one, but there's gonna be different coasts that'll switch throughout the years. I'm planning to make 2 episodes a month. Um, and I'm gonna be talking. We're gonna start with all the new news that's been going on this year with the community. But because this is the first episode, there's been a lot of news throughout this year. But once more episodes come out, there won't be as much news per episode because um, and we'll also be talking about in other like security industries and weather radio industries, just or weather industries. Like we've been talking about when wildfires happen, and even like storms. So yeah, this is not just gonna be for that. And also, you see the little background graphic that I made. That's actually gonna be different based on what time of the month it is. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have more of a wintry theme during the winter, and then it'll but during the fall. This is just the late summer one because it is the late summer right now, but it'll have a different theme depending on what time of year it is the podcast is being filmed on. So that's gonna be that. Anyways, we're gonna start moving on from talking about it. And hello, Jimmy06. We're gonna talk about the industry news, and let's start out with the L series. So if you don't know, System Sensor came out the L series in 2017. And now the new LDL series is coming out very soon. This could be planned for Q3 this year, but they're gonna come out next at the end of quarter 4, maybe the quarter 1 of 2024. It's kind of unknown right now. And also Siemens. So you guys know Siemens. They're also coming out with their own apparently. Though I don't have any sources to back this up, but I heard that Siemens is going to be coming out with their own line of um, notification appliances. There will apparently be addressable and conventional models.
Oh, that's gonna be cool. That'll be
Yeah.
really freaking cool. Also, real quick, if you don't mind me talking about something pretty off topic, I found out what the blank letter was. I bought a Silent Night 1347 key, and I guess the key got lost because it's not in the envelope. It's just a blank piece of paper. I got shipped a blank piece of paper, and I'm like, "What the heck is this?" And I contacted the seller, the only seller, because nobody knows my middle name, only friends. And this guy used my first, middle, and last name. That's how I get shipped stuff. And so I was like, well, it couldn't have been like somebody who I have issues with. Um, um, and I text the seller. I'm like, okay, like for giggles, and he's like, yeah, the key wasn't in it, right? And I'm like, yeah, no key.
Mhm. Oh yeah, by the way, this is not just gonna be for we'll also be talking about the people who are on the podcast that episode. There'll be some podcast episodes where anyone can join with a link, but there'll be some episodes, or it could be on any episode. Basically, we won't just talk about news and talk about worms. We'll also talk about ourselves too. We'll even just do general talk, like what's going on with ourselves or our lives, or like or what we would just anything we want to talk about. This is not just going to be for life safety. Yes, it's going to be focused on life safety and fire safety, but I want to also have this just as a nice podcast for the community, for the fire alarm community, and because I want to move on from. I basically just want to move on from all the drama that's happening. I just want to have um, oh, Discord sounds. Who joined this? If we have a Discord group, and we're trying to. It's Penty Man, of course, and Logan Eggs. Um, yeah, yeah, we have a Discord group where we actually have a call that's been going on for over 72 hours now. But
Yes, we have. We
yeah,
need to go out and touch grass.
yeah, but yeah, this is not just gonna be for uh that, and I want to kind of move on from the drama that's happening. I'm not going to talk about it. Might talk about some episodes, as I said, but I kind of just want to have good podcast. I kind of talk about news. I want to talk about the current fire safety and all that stuff. I just want to have just good general talks, just about anything, and focusing on life safety. So that's basically that. Anyways, let's see here. What else? What else? Oh yeah, and also Silent Night. Again, this is going all the way back to 22 last year. Silent Night has recently discontinued the SK2A, and they're no longer rebranding the MS2 and MS4. So, okay, I guess we're moving on from conventional to addressable. Again, I'm going to be talking about a lot of news on this, going back to
Yeah,
last
so
year.
Firelight released a new line of panels. It's the DUDLS series panels, and especially it comes from Chris's grandma's house. So yeah, look out look out for those
If you
panels. They're very cool.
if you guys don't know, that's kind of a joke we made, being me and Fire Security Alert made about that. So about the DUDOS
Yeah,
panels.
they got me on a call, and I said, "Hey Perry, Chris got a new panel. He got a 9600 DUDLS." And I'm like, "Well, what is that?" Because like they had me convinced for a second, and I'm like, I've been in this community for 3 years. I would have at least heard one thing about a DUDLS. And then I zoomed into the picture, and I saw it was like super pixelated. It was a picture from Roblox. And so
Yeah,
they got me.
yeah. Anyways, so yeah, Silent Night decided to. I guess we're moving on to addressable, and I'm gonna be talking about a lot of news going back to last year. That's because this podcast has only just started, and I want to catch up with the news, and then after that, when we talk about the newest news, um, if you guys remember the earlier podcast I was a part of, which I no longer am, I'm not going to mention it too much. I don't want to mention it, but because I'm moving on from drama and stuff, as I said, and I want to focus on making this channel grow and having good content for people. That's what I want. Have good content. And yeah. Anyways, um, we want to talk about more news, and I need to think for a few seconds. I think yeah.
I'm so freaking
Apparently,
dumb, bro.
apparently, I heard Firelight might be and Game FCI might be merging. So like they're just gonna become Honeywell, and then
Mm-hmm.
and then it'll just be Notifier and Silent Night left. I don't know why
Wait,
specifically those two.
hold on. You heard what?
Apparently, I heard this. No, I have no sources to back this up either. I heard that what Honey was considering doing, what they're gonna do is they're going to take Firelight out of, well, not out of business, but they're gonna stop using the Firelight name and just use Honeywell instead.
That's gay.
And they're gonna do the same thing with Game
Why
Love
would
CI.
why would they want to do that?
I
Like,
have
what's the
I
point? Hold
I
on.
have no idea.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, no, hate on Firelight all you want. I don't care. I'm not saying this because I support. I don't care. I'm saying this because why would they just make? They already took the Silent Night panels and just put Honeywell on them. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So why would they make that would be so confusing. You would have like the Honeywell. Well, I guess you could have different model numbers. That would make more sense if you have like MS9200 UDLS for like the
I don't
that would
know.
actually make sense.
I don't
But
like how they have like two protocols. They have Lightspeed and FlashScan. I'm like,
you
it's
mean
an,
Lightspeed and Clip?
no, I'm talking about the modern protocols because they decided,
Oh,
because Firelight and Notifier decided when they were redoing their protocols or making new protocols in the late 90s, they decided to do separately instead of having both the same protocol. They decided just to have Lightspeed and FlashScan, and then when that pulls green and it's digital, and when that pulls red and that's analog. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I've always had believed
wait, hold on.
that
Whenever
Lightspeed's
it polls,
analog.
I'm sorry. Repeat what you said about polling.
Um, FlashScan is, well, they when they decided would when Notifier and Firelight, which were at the time owned by Titway, back in
Mm-hmm.
the late 90s, upgraded their protocols. They decided to, instead of having the same protocol but having an OEM lock, they decided just to have FlashScan for the Notifier, which was it's a digital protocol that pulls green, and Lightspeed, which is an analog protocol that I believe is analog that pulls red.
So you telling me my panel is an analog addressable file and control panel?
I'm pretty sure
Because
it is because it pulls Lightspeed.
so why the crap do people say, yeah, this is an analog? You see, it has analog. It's like the freaking Honda VTEC owner or something. Like, yeah, I see it's VTEC. Yeah, that gives me that the VTEC, the V in the VTEC, it gives you like 50 extra horsepower. Like, what's the point? Like, I'm not gonna go on YouTube and be like, notifier NFW 2-100 analog addressable fire alarm control panel system test 3.24159. Like, why not
Well,
just say addressable?
that's just the protocol. It's just the type of protocol it pulled. To be honest, I don't really care about the protocol. I do like how Flash and then after Silent Night and Game of CI were sucked up by Honeywell. I believe Game of CI was owned by Pitway. At least FCI was in the some part in the 90s. I think Gamewell at the time was still owned by the Cerberus Group. Um, they whatever, I don't know. They had like Clip and the XP95 protocol, and then they decided to give Velocity to which is basically just another name for FlashScan, to GameLove CI, and then they also did the same for Silent Night, because and up until the 2010s, Silent Night I think was a completely independent company. They might have been owned by some company, but I think they were independent, and they ran How Cheeky protocol, which How Cheeky, of course, is How Cheeky.
Hold
But
up. There is no way. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to. I am not muted. Chris, I will be right back in like 5 minutes, all right?
okay,
All right.
all right. As I was saying, so How Cheeky SD, uh, well, they had the protocol, obviously. So it's SD Hachiki protocol. In the up until sometime in 2000s, when after Honeywell sucked them up, probably, and then FlashScan. Um, and then obviously SK protocol. They have IDP and SK protocol, which I believe are both FlashScan. I don't know, but they're pretty similar. They pull green, and actually might not have some of the features, but honestly, I don't really care what the protocol is. I do like how it pulls green though, but to be honest, it's just just another protocol. But yeah. Uh, yeah. Okay, Perry will be right back. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna show real quick the NWS site, so I can show you guys this heat. What's going on with the excessive heat watch? While Perry is busy doing that, so I can get this. So yeah, and so here is the excessive heat watch. I'm gonna make this slightly bigger. Again, I'm just working out some of the kinks of. So I haven't done custom layout on StreamYard before. Web. Oops. Save. Save as new layout. Okay. Yeah, I'm still working out some of the kinks of this, but as you can see, I'm gonna make this bigger because I gotta switch this thing. Okay. Still working on some of the kinks here, but as you can see, here's our excessive heat watch, which is obviously not toned on the weather radio. And I'm actually going to Oregon tomorrow, so of course, as I go to Oregon, so excessive heat watches have to come in, obviously. But yeah, and my forecast is set in Texas. They're getting thunderstorms in Texas. That's where Redx D461 is. So it's in some parts of Southwest Washington and parts of Northwest Oregon. So yeah, it's a pretty big excessive heat watch going on, and so it's and it's obviously not toned on the weather radio. It might be in Oregon. I don't think they do tone excessive heat watches if I'm corrected. So yeah, I'm gonna switch this back to this. I wish StreamYard let you set the default the default layouts for the brands. But I'm still working all this out, so that will be that'd be nice if they were to do that, to have a thing like that. Anyways, while Perry comes back, and Perry will be back pretty soon. But I want to talk about I got a system sensor mask recently. The mask I actually got listed in a listing for actually $24. It was on a listing for parts are not working, but it turns out it worked. And Radix D461 actually told me to take the risk.
Take
A
the
long
risk
time.
of what?
Oh, take the risk of getting the mask that was untested.
Did it work?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm glad it worked. And yeah, I could not find. Hold on. I feel like yeah. So it's a freaking key. This is my stupid Silent Night key that freaking didn't come in. The seller must have literally have not put the thing in a package because I don't see how it could have just fallen out.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I was like, I know somebody. I know for a fact somebody didn't go out of their dang way to freaking ship me a blank piece of paper.
Yeah. I hope I get a refund for that.
Oh, he said he'll send me another one tomorrow. And I said, "Perfect, thank you so much."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of that, I think there are actually not entirely sure where they are, but there are fire alarm equipment stores, but I think they're only for employees or people that are authorized, only people who work for.
Anyways, Chris, really nice. Thank you for having me on this stream. I have to go. I'm gonna go join a group call. But thank you so much for having me on the stream.
Yeah.
It's been great. And I would love to join your next stream.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
want to see. I'm gonna see if
Go.
someone else is gonna join so I can finish this episode.
Okay, cool.
So,
Yeah, sorry for cutting it short. I need to talk to Logan.
okay.
All right.
And if you want, you can join back later if you want. The link is still there. So,
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll probably join back. All right. Bye.
all right. So I'll be right back in a little bit. I probably. But I'm gonna let someone else join, and then I guess they can talk. Um. They you can join it. Yeah. So yeah. Now we're just gonna wait for for somebody to join, and then I'll be back in a few seconds, probably. I'm gonna set up a banner. All right. I'm gonna wait for someone else because Radix had to go. So, uh, uh, so yeah. So, anyways, I'm going to wait. Obviously, I'm sorry that I'm do this. I have to. Um, but yeah. So going back to that. Let me see if someone will want to join it. Yeah. So never tamper with. That's one thing. Yeah, this is just a pilot episode, and the future episodes will be better. But I'm going to turn music on just because. So. Anyways, I want to see if someone else will come in. Yeah, I didn't expect him to have to leave so early, so. Alright. Yeah, sorry, this is ending up this way, but yeah. Anyways, you know, I wish you could pause these, but you obviously can't. But yeah, this excessive heat watch, I'm gonna bring it back up again. This, if I can put it back in. See, there's this excessive heat watch. You can see it. Hold on. Alright. Back. Yeah, so let's see if anyone will come in. And I'll send. Hold on. Yeah, so yeah. I'm gonna, yeah, it's a lot of silence right now, but this is again, it's just a pilot, and um, I get sick of that music pretty fast. So I'm gonna see while I wait for someone else to want to join. Let's just talk about, because again, the silence just doesn't really help, anyways. So, but yeah, there's been a lot of heat lately with the Texas, and there's gonna be even heat up here in Washington and Oregon and stuff. So yeah, and yeah, I'll try my best in the future to not have as much silence. Obviously, can't really doing the best I can, but I try to maybe put videos up or anything like music up during times that there are times of silence if that can help it. But yeah, and again, most people are gonna be not here. Well, they're gonna watch it after. So, anyways, I want to finish talking about the news, and then maybe if someone can join, we talk about the rest of the news. So, or any talk about what they want. Anyways, but I can't really think of. Oh yeah, speaking of how cheeky SD selenite devices, they are actually starting to be continue to roll out, phase down like the sounder bases and stuff. But yeah, that's the news I can think of right now. So we'll try to get someone to join, and we'll go from there. I'm trying to make this go until 1 hour, possibly. Again, this is not really going to. This is not the best situation. Yeah, Perry had to leave early, so he could be back. He couldn't. He might have to leave, but that's kind of the way it is right now. I just realized I have an idea. I just realized something. Let me do this. I'm editing something in the thing. In the studio. Okay. So now when I add this, I don't have to switch it. Except I would. Interesting. Okay, we can edit this now and get rid of this one. I guess this is good for right now. Alright, so I think I might just talk about a few things a little bit. Obviously the heat stuff, the heat in the Northwest and stuff. Again, it's coming up here finally, this heat wave. Obviously the Southwest and the Southeast are not getting breaks either, but it's gonna warm up here, and there's gonna be a bunch of excessive heat watches and maybe even warnings and heat advisories. But we'll just see how it goes. And yeah, speaking of heat advisories, but yeah, there's a lot of heat stuff in Florida right now, in Texas. So like the entire state of Florida and like entirety of Southeast Texas is full of heat advisories and heat warnings, excessive heat watches, and yeah. See, this is definitely not the best conditions for wildfire. Bad conditions for wildfire safety, obviously. But yeah. And again, this background graphic will actually change. So I haven't made any different graphics yet, but yeah. That's basically it for that. Anyways, I don't know what to. Hold on, we have to do that if I can. Mess around with these layouts a little bit. Okay, I think that's good for right now. Or I guess I could set this to set this. But I think this is good, so yeah. And yeah, so it's 40 minutes. Okay. So I guess we'll just check, because I don't know what else to say right now. I guess I'll just check on this for right now. Look at the map for the NWS. You can see there's the heat watches, and then coming out of Florida, the heat, because of heat warning, heat advisory, and hazardous weather outlook. We can look in Texas, and pretty much again the entire thing is full of warnings and red flag warnings and recurrent statements, and just a big mess. Nothing really going on as much as out here. We got gale warnings, small craft advisories, marine weather statements, and hazardous weather outlooks. But yeah, I think it's a good point to wrap this up now. I actually might keep going for a little bit. I don't know. David. Okay. This was actually, yeah. So that. Yeah, fire weather. Is what if. Anyways, I think this is actually a pretty good point to wrap this up now. I don't really want to go too long for this first one, but I want to go a bit longer for the next episode. Again, this is just a pilot, and it will obviously be better next time, and hopefully won't have any. Hopefully, it'll be a lot better in the future. And again, this is just the first thing. It'll be better next time, but again, we talked about a little bit of stuff, so. But I think this is a good place to wrap up now. So again, not really it's not gonna be it's pretty much probably gonna be the shortest one. So yeah. Thanks for listening, and yeah. Again, this is just the first. It's just the first time. It'll be better next time, and well, basically, it'll just keep on getting better. But yeah, that's about it. So yeah, thanks for this. Thanks for listening. So yeah, and have a good day.